these people are no different than white nationalists. They may not have the power and the support to push their beliefs into, prominence in the same way that, white nationalists do, but their ideas are just as vitriolic. There's nothing that I fear more than the middle of the night, staying up very late, playing Rust, having fun, watching YouTube. You know how it is. Opening up Twitter, and then I see in the trending tab that Vaush is trending. Whenever I see that, I'm just like, uh-oh. Why is Vaush trending? Uh-oh. What's going on this time? What happened? Well, let me give you guys a little bit of background. You see, the left, and I should clarify, the online left, is infested with actual anti-white racism. I know it sounds like a meme, and I know that we love to joke about hating white people here. I love white people jokes, okay? I love making fun of white people. I love making jokes about doing white genocide, and oh, I hate white people, okay? I'm white, you need to call me a cracker, okay? Or honky, or white boy, or mayo head, or mayo head, I prefer, okay? We do it all the time, but the reason we make those jokes is because it's punching up, for one, and we don't actually mean it, right? Like, that's the reason why it's funny. It's because the jokes are ironic, right? However, there are a lot, and I'm going to be very, very clear here, a lot of people on the online left who are actually racist against white people, okay? Now, one of the thing is, and the reason why the online left is so open to this idea is because those that want to push a harmful narrative, a harmful ethno-nationalist narrative for like black people, they kind of disguise their borderline like white nationalist, only black talking points with like a veneer of wokeness. They don't say black ethnostate, they say decolonized community. They don't say genocide or like racial genocide, they say decolonization. They say fighting back against oppressors and whatnot. But when you hold their ideas up to scrutiny to any degree, it becomes very clear that that their talking points are literally Richard Spencer, neo-Nazi white nationalist talking points, only replace white with black, okay? It's literally all it is. I've been saying this for a long time. Anyone with half a brain cell knows it, but a lot of the online left is afraid to call it out because it, feels like if you're a white person, you shouldn't be speaking over a black person who wants to decolonize, So, here's what happened. There's an individual who I've been aware of for a little while now, named Professor Flowers, and she is a left tuber with a moderately small community, and she's made a video on me before. I watched a little bit of it. It was very, very bad. Anyway, she went on stream last night to debate Vaush about black nationalism and black separatism, and Vaush did quite the good job of exposing her as a white nationalist but woke. It was very clear she's in favor of genocide and displacing people and is clearly actually racist. And she did all she could to try to, keep the optics on her side pretty good. But most people, I think, came out of that debate with it being pretty clear to them that this person, Professor Flowers, is a white or a black separatist.
To get rid of their
but
colonizers.
I explicitly asked you about the mass deportation of the 6 million white people in South Africa, and you said that it was the right of black South Africans to do that. You're saying that they have a right to commit a genocide. That's a pro-genocide stance as far as I'm concerned.
I think they have the right to at least figure out if they want the colonizers to be there or not, and like how to do that process. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I really take issue with the idea that me being opposed to ethnostates means that I'm like toxic towards black content creators.
But it's not just like you being oppressed to ethnostates, because I think for me, like, even if like people got rid of like the white South Africans in South Africa. I think there's like ways that could happen that would be really messed up, but I do think it's for the Black South Africans to figure out like how to do that in general. I guess I will say that there are some lines that definitely can be crossed, but that's not even just what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is that like people who just disagree with you, you can't help but compare them to white nationalists.
The problem is the online left is obviously infested with people who, while they may not believe the same things as her, they are still extraordinarily charitable to her beliefs and other people who believe the things she believes. And so, Vaush got hit with a cancellation. Here's a few screenshots here to show it. So Vaush tweeted, as the cancellation was kind of going down, "I suppose opposing ethnic cleansing isn't the worst thing I've been canceled for." Here's some of the comments on that. "You're trash. You weren't opposing ethnic cleansing. You were defending white colonialism. Nothing new for you. Very disingenuous way of framing decolonization, but I wouldn't expect intellectual honesty from you. Pretty convenient way to frame a situation in which you spent the entirety of your point trying to force a contrived hypothetical. People who are stupid and wrong hate hypotheticals. They can't stand them because they're sort of like philosophy. Their moral ideas don't hold well to scrutiny. To walk the other person into an ideological corner. You weren't opposing ethnic cleansing as much as you were being," and then it cuts off. These are very similar arguments people use against Destiny, because Destiny also tends to use a lot of hypotheticals to make an argument, or to test someone's logical consistency. "You oppose black spaces without white influence." What is that? What is a space where there's only one racial group without the influence or presence of another racial? What is that called? What is the word that we have for that? I'm pretty sure there's a word for that, isn't there? You oppose blank spaces without blank what? An ethnostate. That's aren't we on the left supposed to be against those? I thought we were against ethnostates. Wasn't that our thing? Like, we don't like racism, we don't like ethnostates. Like, I want to be very clear here so that nobody confuses any of my ideas. Under no circumstances do I think it is permissible for any race to advocate for spaces where other races are excluded. I don't give a shit if you're black and you want to have like a little club where there's no white people allowed. I don't fucking care, okay? That's racism. We, lefties, should be advocating for complete integration and living together in harmony of every race, ethnicity, religion, etc., right? As long as these ideals that certain people hold don't hurt others, right? Like, we don't want Christians who are super transphobic living in harmony with trans people, because that's impossible. You have to make those people not transphobic. At the very least, keeping them from gaining political power they can use to exert their beliefs onto trans people, for example. I believe in actual integration, not in segregation, but woke. All right? But of course, the online left is infested. And I want to make it very clear, because a lot of people try to downplay how many people believe this. It is a problem. The online left is infested with people who either believe this kind of shit or make excuses for those who believe this kind of shit. And I want to be clear, I think those that make excuses for it are in the majority. Who here remembers my debate I had with Re-Education? This is why I stopped being friends with him. A lot of people unsubscribed from Re-Education after this debate we had. Basically, I'd gotten into a big Twitter argument with someone who was literally arguing that white people are inferior to black people and that we should have black ethnostates. And so I had a debate with Re-Education on this particular topic. This is back when I lived in Florida, I believe. Is it going to work? Yeah. This is back when I lived in Florida. God, I looked so young back then. I still look the same, actually. That debate did not go well for Re-Education. Not very well at all. A lot of people unsubscribed from him after that. He made some very bad arguments, but I think he's a very good example of what I'm talking about here. He himself may not be in favor of black ethnostates or anything like that, but you will always see someone like him make excuses for those that are in favor of that. So basically, these are the people canceling Vaush. He is unironically being canceled for being against ethnostates, ethno-nationalism, and racism. And it is wild to me. Anyway, I felt the need to talk about this because I feel like when drama like this happens, a lot of like lefty YouTubers and people in the left community around here tend to just sort of ignore it and let the lies and the slander be sent out against the person who's being canceled. I'm not going to let that happen. Vaush is my friend. I'm going to lend support, let you guys know what's going on, why he's being canceled, and why you should be on his side of things. And just to generally raise more awareness about the problem of actual, like, I don't want to say black supremacy, but yeah, black supremacy, I guess you could say, that's sort of permeated so deeply into the online left. Yeah, don't support ethnostates, don't support exclusionary spaces based on race, no matter how woke it sounds. The only right way is to make it so that black and white people and people of every race are living together, occupying the same spaces without animosity and conflict. Trust me, a lot of black separatists have views that mirror white nationalists. Oh yes, trust me, I know A-Pillow. I know. How is he being canceled? Ooh, I think we've got one of those people in chat right now. So here's an example of someone making excuses for black separatism in the online left. It can be something as simple as, oh, well, how's he being canceled? Is he losing his YouTube channel? It's not that big a deal. He's just getting shit on Twitter. That's what canceling is. Getting shit on Twitter. When tons of people go and start spamming your fucking replies with calling you things and attacking you and brigading you. That's canceling. That's what being canceled is. He's canceled. Okay? Let's make it very clear. Vaush is being canceled for being anti-racist. Okay? That's what's happening here, okay? Yeah. I highly recommend you watch the Professor Flowers debate, but do not let the woke language sort of get you, okay? When you hear one of these people say, we'll use this as an example, when you hear them say, you oppose black spaces without white influence, it's literally what this whole mess started out as, and you have made it clear you equate the notion to white supremacy. I'm embarrassed for having watched you this much. At least I know where you stand. Replace you oppose black spaces without white influence with you oppose white spaces without black influence. I want you to tell me how that is any different. On a base moral level, how is opposing black spaces without white influence any different than opposing white spaces without black influence? What's the difference? I want any of you in chat, please, any of you, to try to propose a difference. On a basic moral level, how is that any difference? There is none. There literally is no difference. Ethno-nationalism is ethno-nationalism. It's as cut and dry as that, my friends. You can make the argument that it's different if you think white people are inherently immoral, and that's what these people believe. They actually believe that white people are inherently immoral, that white people, that like me, because I was born to a country where 150 years ago, 200 years ago at this point, slavery was the thing, that moral burden now rests on me. It's very similar to original sin that Christians believe, where they believe that you're born in sin and you have to be baptized to wash the sin away. Mom, can you chill a little bit? My mom just came over and she is very, very loud. She has no respect for my stream. Anyway, she'll be coming on in a moment to do media share, but that's really all I wanted to talk about. These people are no different than white nationalists. They may not have the power and the support to push their beliefs into, prominence in the same way that, white nationalists do, but their ideas are just as vitriolic. They engage in just as harmful a behavior, and they're all pieces of shit and should not be accepted on the left. So yeah. She's still talking as loud as she can right outside the door. Anyway, that's all there really is to talk about. Thank you all so much for watching today, and I will see... Oh, wait, even better one. Hold on, I forgot. There was one final good meme. One final good meme. Can we just enjoy this? Why would you self-own like this? So we've got Mel, who's a genocide denier tanky, who also uses idpol as a defense against her far-right beliefs. I saw a lot of the same things he did with you as he did with me. I'm so sorry. Then Professor Flowers responds, yo, let's make a support group, given that we went through what we went through. In my book, we're friends now. Unironic VDS support group. In their own words, a support group. Listen, if you have to make a support group following a debate that you've had with a person, you might have been blown the fuck out. You just might have been blown the fuck out, okay? So, yeah, I just think that's funny. I think that's a funny place to wrap up the video. I feel like that's a real nice place to wrap it up. Anyway, guys, it's time to get stoned and do media share with my mom. So if you enjoyed this video, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all for coming today, and I will see all of you in the next video. All right, let's start with media share. Everyone subscribe, sub, you know all the things, leave a like, all of that, and I'll see you later.